y'all, it's Callie and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. It is now Monday morning. I'm about to head out and start my day, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know a baseline of what my reading for this week will be. Last night I finished Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu, and I absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. It was so great. It was just so cute and I loved it, and I loved seeing the backstory of Helen and Aline, who we get to see more in the Dark Artifices, and just it was just so funny and cute while also being really deep, and I'm really interested to see how all of this is gonna go, and I'm so excited. I absolutely loved it. This week my audiobook is A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I just got this from my library, the audiobook for it, last night, and I have already listened to an hour and a half, so I am starting out on page 57, which is chapter 6, just a little chunk of the way through. I think this is like a total of 11 hours long, so I've read one of those, and I'm just really intrigued. I've heard a lot about this in terms of like, I've heard the title a lot because of Libba Bray, and this is a backlist title, but I have not heard a lot about the premise. Other than that the main character's name was Gemma Doyle, I knew absolutely nothing about the story, so I've been absolutely loving it. Takes place in the 1800s, and she has these visions, and her mother dies, and she is sent off to London to go to a private boarding school, and it's kind of like right now we are just seeing her at the school, and there are some creepy things going on. So I'm really intrigued to see what the rest of this is going to be about. And so yeah. And then my ebook is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I will most definitely be finishing this week because I am on page 295. I only have 4 days left to read the ebook, so I have until Friday to read the ebook, and if it times out and I have to turn it back in, then I will just finish up my last little chunk in whatever I have left physically, because I am super intrigued. I've been loving the story and I cannot wait to get to more. And then my new physical book will be Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I am so excited. I have heard so many wonderful things about this, especially with the cover for Children of Virtue and Vengeance coming out recently, and just so excited to be getting to this. It is so beautiful and shiny. I love it so much, and I cannot wait to finish this. It's quite large, but I'm really excited about that. And the maps, this book is so beautiful, and I cannot wait to read it. Hey y'all, it is later on Monday, and I just wanted to update you guys on the quite a bit of reading I have gotten done already today. So first, I finished the ebook for This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I absolutely loved this. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. It was just so much fun, and I just loved the characters and the development of them and just the complexity of the world, and it was just all so fabulous. I am so glad I read this. It was so wonderful. The next ebook I will be reading is Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. This one is, I believe, a steampunk version of one of the World Wars. I think it's the first one, but I'm not exactly sure. It is just one that was on my shelf and it was available through my library, so I figured why not? This one will be lots of fun. It has illustrations throughout, so I'm super excited to read more about this one and see what it's all about. I've listened to so much audiobook already today. I am now on page 214, over halfway through. It is so intriguing. It's very similar to The Diviners in that it's about kind of supernatural and magical realism kind of mix, where it's people that have these weird powers and they aren't really sure what they are, visions, seeing dead people, ghosts, I guess, that kind of thing. It's super interesting and I can't wait to see what happens in the rest of the book. And then in Children of Blood and Bone, I finished the first chapter, so I am on page 21. Just a little bit. I am absolutely loving it so far. It was super intriguing and I can't wait to find out what happens and who else we meet, because the start of every chapter has a character name. So this one has Zeely, so I'm intrigued to see what other characters' perspectives we will get to see later on. Hey y'all, it's Tuesday morning and I just wanted to quickly update you guys on my read. In A Great and Terrible Beauty, I am on page 308. I have about 100 pages left. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this today. It'll just depend on how much of audiobook I choose to listen to. I think I've got like 2.5, 3 hours left, so we'll just have to see. It is on 2 times speed, so it should go a little bit quicker than that. But I'm really intrigued. This is really interesting. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Today, the ebook I will be picking up is Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. I'm really excited to pick this one up and get it off of my TBR and also to see what it's all about. And then last night I read a little bit more of Children of Blood and Bone. I am now on page 47. I wanted to read a little bit more, but I just really needed to get to bed, so I did not read as much as I hoped to. This next week I am so incredibly busy with homework and finals and studying, but starting Sunday I will have a little bit more free time each day freed up, so that'll be super exciting and I cannot wait to find out more. I am absolutely loving the story and the characters we've met so far. I can't wait to see how they diverge. Hey y'all, it's Wednesday morning and I wanted to update you guys on my reading I got done yesterday. I actually ended up finishing the audiobook for A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was a really interesting story. I really enjoyed myself, but I also don't think I'll be picking up the rest of the series. It kind of concluded, but at the same time it left it open-ended because we got rid of like the minor bad guy, but there's still the major bad guy who we didn't really see a lot of in this one. And so I felt like it was good, but I could live without reading the rest of the series. So that's what my plan is right now. I just had a great time. It was so quick. I listened to this in 2 days and it's like an 11-hour audiobook and I did have it on 2 times speed, but still, that's a lot of time. In Children of Blood and Bone, I am on page 102. I'm trying to at least read about 50 pages a day if I don't have a lot of time, because I can just read a quick 50 pages before bed. I am absolutely loving the story. I love it so much. I don't know how to put it into words. It's just so much fun, and it's, I don't want to say fun, but it is, and it's just so great. I did not read a lot of Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. I am on a whopping page 11. So, got a while to go. I don't know how I feel about this. It's kind of confusing and I'm not realizing that I'm not really that interested in the plot, but I'm still gonna give it a little bit of a try, and if I'm not enjoying it by like Monday, I'll just DNF it and pick up a different one, because a hold came through on The Handmaid's Tale, which I would really prefer to read. But yeah, I am not really feeling this and I don't really have a lot of time to read it today either, so I probably won't. And then the new audiobook I picked up is The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Elier Sands. I am already on page 133. I am loving the story. It's going into all kinds of topics that are very relevant and very close to my heart. And it's just so good because there are so many feelings that I have felt in this book, and it's just so good, and I love the characters and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. The title of the next chapter really intrigues me, so I cannot wait to listen to more of the audiobook. Hey y'all, it is Thursday afternoon and I quickly wanted to update you guys on the reading I have done in the last 24 hours or so. I finished the audiobook for The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alira Sands. I loved this so much. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. It was just so beautiful. Yet another audiobook that made me cry. That's the second one so far. I loved the characters and the development and the plot, and just it was so wholesome and fun and just overall such a great experience, and I just loved the writing and everything about it was so wonderful. The next audiobook I'm going to be picking up is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. It was available through my library and it's only about 9 hours, so I have that on double time speed and I'm already on page 25. I'm intrigued and I'm interested, not as much as I am in her other works because this one is definitely more adult and kind of more of a fiction than a romance or anything like that I'm interested in, but I'm still giving it a try because I love the other books I've read from. In Leviathan, I am on page 40. I don't know if that's where I was last time I updated you guys. Haven't read a lot. I've been so focused on studying, and I hope after my test tomorrow to start pick up reading this a little bit more. If I'm not interested in it by Monday, I will definitely be returning it and unhauling it. And then in Children of Blood and Bone, I didn't get as much reading done last night as I wanted to because I was so tired and my sleep schedule has been really whack, so I was trying to kind of balance it back out. And I did get a chance to read a little bit today, so I'm on page 138. A little chunk of the way through. I am loving the story and the characters and just the development of the relationships between all of them, and I cannot wait to see what else is going to happen in this book. It is just so exciting and I can't wait. Hey y'all, it is Friday morning still and I just finished my final and kind of got myself ready for the day, and I wanted to update you guys on my reading so far. So in Landline by Rainbow Rowell, I am on page 162, over halfway through. I'm really enjoying the story. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. I just love the complexity and just the relationship and getting to see the future and the past, or future and the past, the current time I guess you could say. It's just so cute and I love the characters, especially the daughters, and it's just a lot of fun to read or listen to, and I cannot wait to finish this one. I actually ended up returning the ebook for Leviathan and putting it off to the side because I really wasn't interested in it, and I put a couple other books that I realized I just really wasn't interested in reading off to the side so I can unhaul them eventually. I'm going to be picking up The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood as my new ebook. I'm so excited. This is just really exciting. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I am kind of glad I'm reading the ebook because this font is tiny and I feel like that would deter me a little bit, so I'm excited to be reading this as my ebook. And then in Children of Blood and Bone, I am on page 173. Now that my final is finished, all I have is one quiz that I have to study for that's next Friday, and that will just be like the 2 days before. I'll have to do a Quizlet 2 or 3 times. So I'm gonna hopefully finish this pretty quickly. I'm loving it. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen, and I just love the characters so much and I'm so attached to them already, and I'm so excited to have time to read this now. Hey y'all, it is Sunday afternoon and I quickly wanted to update you guys on some of my reading so far. On Friday afternoon I finished Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I absolutely loved it. 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much more than I expected. There was such a cute LGBTQ character and there were puppies and just the ending was so sweet. I can't believe I doubted that I would love this Rainbow Rowell book. It was so sweet and I loved all the characters and the development of the characters, and it was just so much fun, and I loved it. The next audiobook I have picked up is After You by Jojo Moyes. This is the second book in the Me Before You trilogy. I just kind of figured it was available and I would pick it up. I am currently on page 197, a little over halfway through. I kind of regret picking up the audiobook because as soon as I got it, like not that long later, I got a whole bunch of other things, so now I'm prioritizing audiobooks and ebooks, so I have the ability to borrow things when my loans come up or my holds come up, because right now I have 5 out of 5 things borrowed and I also have 10 things on hold, and one of them is a few of them are about to come through, so I'm hoping to get through this one and maybe some other ones really quickly pretty soon. The ebook I'm reading is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I am now on page 71. This is pretty slow going. The beginning was very slow for me because she just kind of throws you into the world that's like ours, but just enough off of it that it's confusing, and I'm slowly kind of picking up on the details and I'm getting a lot more into it, and I'm super excited to see what's gonna happen. It's really crazy and I'm really interested to see. In Children of Blood and Bone, I haven't read a lot at all. I'm on page 218. I just haven't really been reading this. Right now I'm focusing on the audiobooks and ebooks, so this has kind of taken the back seat, but I'm hoping to pick this one up in the next few days to really just dive into these amazing characters and the awesome storyline. Hey y'all, it is later on Sunday afternoon and I just wanted to quickly wrap up the week and let you guys know where I'm at in my reading so far. In After You, which is pretty much what I've been focusing on because it's my audiobook and I've got like 3 audiobooks waiting, including this one, so I'm trying to get through this one so I can get to another one. I am on page 318, chapter 27. There are 30 chapters and like 350 pages, so I think I'm gonna just sit down and read through these last 30 pages or so. I am intrigued. I'm not loving it. It's just really interesting and it's just kind of something fun and quick to get off my TBR. This is just something fun to read. This week I have managed to finish 6 books. That's anticipating me finishing After You. 2 of them were ebooks and 4 of them were audiobooks. It was definitely an electronic heavy week this week. I just didn't really focus a lot on my physical reading and I had a lot more time and chances to read my ebooks and my audiobooks this week, but next week I'm hoping to power through as many physical books as possible. First, I finished This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. This was so cute. I think I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. It was just a really fun read. I loved the characters. The storyline is so complex and interesting, and the world is really intriguing, and I'm excited to learn more about the world in our dark duet. Then I finished the audiobook for A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I enjoyed my time reading this, but I also didn't feel the need to continue on with the series because it kind of felt like it minorly wrapped up, and it had a little bit of a teaser as to what the major plot of the next story would be, or the major villain, but I just wasn't interested enough. I enjoyed my time. The time period was really interesting, but I did not enjoy it enough to feel the need to continue on with the series. Then I finished The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alire-Sands. I listened to the audiobook for this one. I loved this one so much. The characters were just so relatable and wonderful and just sweet and funny and just all of the great adjectives. I had such a blast reading this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I just loved all of the, I feel, important things that it mentioned and just some of the same feelings that I had felt being seen in this book. I finished the ebook Take Me by Jay Kenner. I just sat and read it. It took me less than an hour. It was just a little romance ebook to finish off a series that I started earlier in the year. And then lastly, Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I listened to the audiobook for this one too. I gave this one about 4 stars. I really loved how much I ended up liking it. I originally thought I wasn't going to like it that much, but I figured it was a Rainbow Rowell, so I might as well go ahead and read it. But it turned out that I just loved the characters and just the storyline that we got to see, and it was just so cute and so just funny and romantic, and I just loved it so unexpectedly. I didn't love it enough to give it that full 5 stars, but it was definitely 4.5 out of 5 stars. Puppies, LGBTQ, minor side characters, and just family cuteness. It was just all so much fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's reading vlog. I really love making reading vlogs. Sometimes I slack off a bit, but I try to keep up. I just love watching them, so I love making them for you guys, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!